Hi again, everyone. I wanted to squeeze in a couple of videos today. In this one, I'm going to show you what my coven and I did to celebrate the Witch's New Year, which is today. So we did it a little earlier in the week because I really take this whole year, or this whole year, this whole week to celebrate. Um, so what we did, because it is the Witch's New Year, which is what Samhain is traditionally, it's also the um, you know after the final harvest and when our fields are going to sleep and it's bringing in the winter time, so what I wanted to do was to show you how we did this New Year apple. You can also do it with a turnip. That's also traditional. So you can do this today. You don't need very many items. You really just need an apple, a knife, a candle to seal it up with, some herbs, some coins if you want. It's really pretty simple. So I have an apple core here. This is I think you can buy them for like maybe $12 on Amazon if you want. It makes it a little bit easier to do this. The apples I used for the group were much larger than the apple I have today, for example. So sorry, but if you can try to use a bigger one. It's a little bit more helpful. Um, like I said, if you don't have an apple core, you can just use a plain knife. What I recommend is cutting a square around the stem and then sort of prying it out or taking it out piece by piece. This makes it a little bit easier. What you don't want to do is shove this all the way through the apple, which is what it's meant to do. It's meant to remove the core for making pies and things. But we don't want to do that in this case. We want to just go down maybe about maybe 3/4 of the way. And then you're going to want to work it around so it pries out that middle part on its own and pulls it out. It takes a little bit of monkeying around with it to get it out, but eventually it loosens up and it comes out and it works. So what we're going to do, we're creating like an offering here, a vessel, So, and I find a lot of people have a lot of trouble with the concepts of offerings. So this is like a really easy and acceptable way to do it. So once you have your core out there, oh, look, you can see the perfect little seed pentagram in there. So, like I said, I really like the juxtaposition of this being a time of celebrating the dead and welcoming their spirits back to honor them, but also looking forward into the new year already. So it's like death and rebirth all in one. So, the harvests are over and the fields are going to sleep, and around us it's starting to look barren and cold. But then there's this idea of it being the new year and, full of possibility, and we can, achieve anything, that we should start aligning our goals and our petitions for, the new year, for actual January 1st. So it's kind of like a jump start on that. And I'm a big fan of being proactive and planning. So for me, if I can, get ahead on planning that next year and what my goals are, that's all the better for me. So I find that if you don't plan and take advantage of life and draw out a map for what you want, then you're going to get a map made for you. And it may not be an easy one or one that you even really want. So I prefer to choose where I'm going instead of having everybody else's lives and choices around me dictate what's happening in my life. So, and I find that it's really one way or the other, that if you don't have it, if you don't have an idea and some ideas how to reach those goals, then you just sort of get run over by by what everybody else is doing around you, because it does affect you. So you got to have your own plan going on, and that's what this is about. So we've got our core out. This is when you would start setting your intentions. Um, I made an herbal mixture for mine, and it was roses, ground chicory root, espresso. Um, I think I put some basil, some spearmint, maybe some cloves, and some alder cones. So you can use a mix. I mean, I had a reason for using each of those. I won't spend a ton of time on that here. Um, I can tell you I use the chicory root for grounding. I use the espresso for speed, and I use the alder cones because those are traditional protective winter herbs. That's a traditional protective winter herb. It helps to protect your house and your home uh, from and the reason I say house and home is I mean the people inside the home, what makes it a home, from just the elements, from winter accidents, from the winter affecting your home. Sometimes like the winter can be really hard in places that are cold. You have frozen pipes and trees that fall, ice storms, electrical outages, things like that. So I try to prepare for that ahead of time. So you would add some of that mixture into the center of your apple. You would also have a slip of paper ready, okay? This is what you're going to write your New Year resolution on, okay? Or it can just be, you can simply write words of what you want to bring into your life. It can be health, abundance, prosperity, maybe a happy home, healthy children or community, um, love, platonic love, romantic love. I try to keep it really open and positive, things everybody needs, things that you would want everybody in your community to have, that, your community, that we're all well fed, that we're all provided for this winter, things like that. So once you get that done, you can, once it's inscribed on there, you can't see it because of the light, but I did write on there. You would fold it up and you fold it towards yourself, right? Because any work that you're doing to draw something to you, you want to fold towards you. So you can turn it again and fold it again. And then this would be the time when you would dress it with some oil. I'm going to skip that part because I don't have one of mine super handy here right now. So you would fold it small enough. Again, you could dress it with oil. You can sprinkle it with the herbs that you want. If you want to, you could pass this through smoke or flame to sort of, what's the word I want to use? Like ignite the petition to not physically, not literally ignite it, but to like awaken it. So you would insert this into the center of your apple. And then I'm looking for did I grab one? I thought I did. Yeah, I did. So then another great thing to do for this is to add a coin on top of it. For one, that helps to seal, it helps to sort of seal everything, but it's also, obviously a symbol of abundance, prosperity, our needs being met, necessities, bills being paid, things like that. So the petition is down in there. You can set this right on top then. And then you have just a regular household candle. These are Coach candles. I sell these on my site. This is a great size for spell work because it's got a bit of a broader base. So, you can use this and set it down and you don't have to worry about it tipping and things like that. So this is great for like, a week worth of spell work or to do sealing in spell work like this. So then you're going to fill up the rest of this cavity, right, with the wax. So this may take some time depending on what you want to do is make sure it's all filled up with herbs and everything to the top so it doesn't take you like forever. So you're going to you'll seal this up. And then what you'll do is you'll leave this on your altar. You can leave a fresh offering like this on your altar for 2 or 3 days. After that, you should dispose of it. So this should be set outside as an offering to the earth in gratitude. And everything in here is safe to go into the environment, so that's all fine. So you're going to keep it on your altar as a focal point. Meditate, focus on the intentions that you put on your slip of paper, what it means to you in the coming year, what you really want to work on, what you want to achieve. So that's getting nice and full. You can see that that's sort of bouncing off of there, that wax. So we're going to let that cool off and sit here. You could also add some more herbs on top of it at this time, maybe a crystal. On this one that I did, I had bittersweet is it's seasonal here. It's a vine that grows here in the woods. And so I had some branches of that I used for our centerpiece for our meeting. And bittersweet stands for platonic love. So I thought that was really representative of my coven sisters that night. So I took some of the bittersweet berries and I put that on top because I really cherish the relationship that I have with them, and I want to sustain that. I think people often forget to continue to not ask for things they already have, but to acknowledge them and express gratitude and say, I'm so thankful for this relationship that I currently have, or I'm so grateful for my health right now, or I'm so grateful for my job. And I just want to say that I would like to keep that abundant and sustained. And I would like to keep that energy high and flowing. And I'm willing and ready to continue to work on that goal so that I can keep and maintain that in my life. And I think that that affirmation, that type of affirmation is so important because it's so easy to want more. It's so easy to want the next thing. There's always something else. And if you can't be grateful for what you already have, want will never be filled because there's always going to be something else. So want never goes away. The only way that it goes away is to look at what you already have, because that's what's real and that's what's tangible. Wanting isn't tangible. That's a manifestation of ego, and it can never be. It's completely consuming because it can't ever be fulfilled because there's no last item to purchase. There's no, there's no. I could have better friends. I could go to better places. I could have, I could get I could obtain this and I could get that. I could get a better car. And that never goes away because there's always going to be a better car, right? That's the nature of consumerism. They keep coming out with better shit, so you buy it. So we have to get out of that mindset and look at what you have and be happy with that. And then there's no wanting happening, right? So I'm not telling you shouldn't want a better job. If you need a better job, there's nothing wrong with that. But be grateful for what you have while you are working on something that actually will enrich your life. Make sure it's not just want and it's really for enrichment. So, okay, so this is all taken care of in the top there. Another thing that I like to do now, I will usually activate this with like 3 really slow breaths, sometimes more than that. But I just focus and I'll do 3 really slow charged breaths with intent and purpose to activate this. So I would do that. And then another thing I would do while the wax is still soft is to put my thumbprint or fingerprint right in the top. Because as we know, we're the only one with our thumbprint and our fingerprint. And to me, that's like a really great way to seal and activate that this is meant for you and it's coming into your life. It's on its way already. This is a universal symbol, and it's like a beacon to put out there to say, okay, I've acknowledged these things and I'm ready for them to find me. So that is what we did for our meeting this Samhain. And it's something really fast and inexpensive and easy and meaningful to do. So now you keep this on your altar for 2 or 3 days, and then you could take it outside. You could bury it on your property so that you're physically burying these intentions on your property. You could go outside and leave it under a tree. You could leave it at a park if you don't have personal property. Anything like that. You could drive maybe to a crossroads and leave it there, anything like that. So I just wanted to share that quick little tidbit with you. And yeah, so I hope that you guys have a really blessed holiday season, and I will be back hopefully soon with more videos for you. All right, be blessed, guys.